competitors.
Yeah, I can imagine. Having then been at kind of a starting broadcast network, how would you maybe advise print-based media, newspapers, to do some things, I guess, kind of now that you've had the experience of kind of starting early on?
Yeah. One of the advantages we've had with starting from scratch, and when I arrived in Doha almost 3 years ago, the studios were a building site, so we were building absolutely new. One of the advantages we've had is that because everything is digital, being able to move content around between television and new media and out to the web and to mobiles has been a lot easier because it's all digital. It's just moving bits around a system. Some organisations like the BBC and CNN, some of those, they're still working on tape in some respects. So for them, they've had to take account of legacy infrastructure that has been, they've had to integrate into their systems. With newspapers, they're learning a whole new grammar of presenting content. They've been working with text and with images, and some newspaper websites have really grasped multimedia interactivity, being able to allow people to navigate their way through timelines of information, but it's done in a graphical sense rather than a video sense. Now they're starting to take on video, and it's a really interesting convergence of the different styles of news gathering, of news presentation, that it's going to, for me, it opens up even more the range of diversity of content that people can access. I don't think that it's us against them. I think it's everybody working to provide a range of opinion, of reporting, of viewpoints that people can then take and make up their own mind. So for the newspapers, I think one of the watchwords is really to keep an eye on the technology and keep it as simple as possible. Take advantage of mobile phones, of user-generated content. I think one of the things about the internet and the new media realm is that the audience is much more forgiving. They don't mind the fact that the quality may not be as good as on their 50-inch LCD television. They expect high quality from the broadcasters. They don't expect it on the web. They're used to not having the quality, so it can be more forgiving. And as a result, I think there's an opportunity there for newspapers to get more from their own correspondents and from their readers, and add to the diversity of content that's available not just to their own supporters and readers, but to everybody on the internet.
Yeah. Can you maybe speak a little bit about now being in Doha and being in Middle East, just how the consumption is there different and how that impacts your job?
Because Al Jazeera English is a global broadcaster, we tend not to get too much involved in local issues. We don't have the remit really to cover what are domestic policies and politics. Certainly Al Jazeera as a whole, the channel, the Arabic channel, has built up a reputation over the last 11 years for fearless journalism, and it's certainly challenged the way in which certainly the Arab world has viewed news. And yes, there's been a reaction against that from some regimes where they feel they want to retain the control that they have traditionally had over their media. It's challenged that, and that's what journalism should be doing. It should be challenging the status quo and asking the tough questions and saying, is this the way it really should be? And Al Jazeera has done that, and now with the English channel we're taking that kind of fearless brand of journalism to the rest of the world and challenging not just the Arab world but the whole of the world, and presenting them with some of the questions and issues and challenges that all of us are facing as we move further into the 21st century.
Do most of your correspondents, are they pretty much all these mobile journalists? Or are they more coming, some really traditional broadcasts, some prints?
Oh, there's a range. There's a range. We have print journalists, we have video journalists, we have people who are have been in television for decades, other people who are absolutely new and are quite happy picking up a camera and going out and shooting pieces themselves. We have a range of people there, and certainly a lot of them are also now getting involved in providing content, not just for the TV but for the website. They'll sit down and write 1,000 words of text, as well as going out and shooting a video report that will also go on the internet as well. So they're becoming much more multi-skilled and providing a range of content all under the Al Jazeera banner, and we're encouraging that. We operate a converged newsroom, and we encourage the people in the field, not just the reporters, but the producers and their support staff, to contribute content as and when they feel they can.
Yeah. Are most people pretty eager to get involved in kind of cross-platform journalists, or is there, I mean, in the web department it seems like that's always pushing and everyone's like, I don't know.
I think there was probably about 10 years ago, when the web journalism was in its infancy, there was a feeling that, you know, what are we doing with the internet? You know, they're a strange group of people over there somewhere. It's become mainstream now, and I think what a lot of people see from the internet, especially people working in radio and television, where you produce content, it goes out on air, and that's it. It doesn't have any kind of life apart from maybe in an archive somewhere. Being able to write an article that will live on the web now, I hope forever, with a byline on it, and now with their video report attached, it gives it that life, it gives it that legacy, that really does allow the journalists to say, you know, there's my body of work, which it was much more difficult for them to do previously.
Yeah. Cool. I think that's pretty much